I had an aunt who used to say, it's not that serious. There's a heaven to come. So thank you for having us relaxed. Thank you, my elder. So far we have discussed that the purpose of marriage and family is to raise a godly offspring for occupation in where? In heaven. Just trying to recap and find out if we are still together. But you agree with me that the devil is working so hard to thwart God's plan. And he'll ensure that this plan does not work. But good news is that there's no single day that darkness has won. In any battle we fight in life, where light and darkness are involved, truth and error are involved, right and wrong are involved, there is no single day darkness has won. No single day. And so what we see as ill manifestations in our families, in our marriages, to me, they are just the heat of the battle. Because the battle is raging so hard. What you see that discourages you is the heat of that battle. But there is no single day darkness will overcome. The devil has never changed his strategy since Eden. The strategy continues. And the strategy is clear. We discussed it yesterday. Weaken the foundation. Weaken the man. And deceive the woman that she can do without the man. Or she can still function effectively with a weak foundation. Many women are convinced they can do life without the man, or if he's there, she can still function effectively with a weak man. Let us do Genesis chapter 3, verse 5. Chapter 3 is about the fall of man. The discussion is between the serpent and Eve over whether or not to eat the fruit. Verse 5 says, the devil is responding. Let me pick it from verse 4. And the serpent said to the woman, you shall not surely die. For God does know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. I hope you've listened to that carefully. He's telling Eve that the day you eat of it, your eyes shall be opened. Question, what is the devil trying to say?
That she is blind.
That she is what? Blind. So, she will be able to see things properly if she eats the fruit. But was Eve blind? No. So what the devil is saying is that when you eat of this fruit, you'll be enlightened. You'll know more. And then he says, you will be as gods. To mean, there is a higher sphere. There is a higher position you can reach, but God is not denying you that position. Are you following me?
Yeah.
If you eat it, your eyes will be open. It means there is something good that God is denying you to suppress you. And so he created first a sense of dissatisfaction to be able to pull her from her original position God had placed her and make her chase after vanity, neglecting her solemn responsibilities. Tuko pamoja ama bado tumekasirikia? You know, you can know when the audience is with you or not. You can know whether they're thinking you're speaking from space or not. And so the devil made Eve think that God is insecure. God is threatened by her. So that she should not eat that fruit. If she eats it, she'll be as gods. And her eyes will open. By rendering the foundations weak, by rendering our men useless, the woman is made to think she can rise to take up the position of a man, such that what a man can do, You hear that cliche? It's a cliche. A cliche is a statement that is not necessarily true. It wants to sound true, but it is not what? It's not true. And the devil is cunning. What I'll do is make sure I destroy the man completely. So that the woman can think that whatever the man used to do, I can equally do it. And I can do it what? Better. And let me ask, if you have a drunkard for a husband, who drinks the whole salary? And does not know how kids go to school, what is eaten in this house, whether rent is paid. What is the woman supposed to do? And she has gone to school, but she'll be tempted to think, why should I have a fight with this man? The things he's supposed to do, I can do better. And haven't women done them better? Siongena mimi. Haven't women done them better? They have done them better. But I want to remind you, it's a deception we have been riding on. A great deception. It's a deception. The devil will destabilize the man to give the woman a reason to take up his responsibilities. And we will justify why we are taking up those responsibilities. I mean, it makes sense. Why should my children go hungry and I can work? Doesn't it make sense?
It does.
Yeah, it makes sense. There's justification for it. There is nothing wrong with a woman making her own money, with a woman rising, but to the point she has to forfeit her core solemn responsibilities, it raises an eyebrow. Nothing wrong. But to the point we have to neglect our responsibilities. Core. Underline the word what? Core. Responsibilities as a woman. Then there's a reason to raise an eyebrow. The angels, when I read the story of the fall from the book Patriarchs and Prophets, please be SOP readers. I'm reminding us, just love SOP. You'll learn a lot of things. Ellen White says this, Patriarchs and Prophets, page 53, paragraph 5. The angels had cautioned Eve. I'm reading slowly so that we don't argue or have a debate after this, or I'll shoot you. Yeah? The angels had done what? Cautioned Eve. Not Adam. Cautioned who? Not who? Not Adam. Had cautioned Eve to beware of separating herself from her husband while occupied in their daily labor in the garden. With him, she would be in less danger from temptation than if she were. Hello? Hey, mtu ashaisoma hiyo kitu? Ama mumejaza tu? Wacha nirudie. The angels had cautioned Eve to beware. The Lord says, chunga, chunga, chunga sana. Beware of separating herself from who? Her husband, while occupied in their daily labor in the garden. Just put your finger there. Where was Adam living? In the garden of? Is anyone disputing? Where was Adam working? In the garden of? Essentially, a woman should also, should be where her husband lives and does what? So when a man says, you go take care of our 3 chicken and 2 goats at home, I live in Nairobi, I'll be coming to see you. She was cautioned to beware of separating herself from her what? Where the husband not only lives, but also does what? Can I repeat it? No, we are fixing families here. Where your husband lives and works, that is where you should also work. And what is the reason why it is given? That she is in less what? Danger. I'm not saying that if they are separate, I'm not saying that when you are together, there are no dangers than when you're separate. Have you had the discussion of what is the problem of relationships where a man lives in Taita, a woman lives in Mosoriot? And we have this debate of what is wrong in those relationships, or are they okay? All of them have dangers. But SOP is saying there is less danger where the two of you stay. Today I counsel couples that want to get into marriage, and I tell them, what plans do you have after you've wedded? Are you intending to go separate ways? Or intending to stay together? Friends, let us insist on staying together. Else, what is a family? If daddy comes home once a month, where is your daddyhood now? Where is your daddyhood? And then he says, I work very far. I make sure before I sleep, I speak to all my children on Zoom. What is this? I call my wife in the morning, I call her in the evening. When I have to deal with marital issues, highest on the list is infidelity. And why? Part of the reason, the fact that people stay apart. Let no one cheat you that a man is a species that can stay alone for a week. Let no one cheat you. A week. Hakuna kitu nategemea. Cannot. And then let's agree. Be coming over every weekend with dirty clothes, you go back with clean ones. He'll carry those clothes just for a month or two. Then he'll say, kazi imekuwa mingi. Then he says, let me come fortnight. After 2 weeks, then a month. Before you know it, he's raising another family where? In Nairobi. Yeah. And if you don't happen to find out when he's breathing, you will know when he's dead. You will know when he's dead. If you don't find out when he's breathing, you will know when he's on.
Yes.
In fact, you'll be shocked to find out he has children older than your firstborn. Who was cautioned? I'm speaking to women. Insist. Uko mahali unaenda ndio hata mimi ninaenda kufanya. There. There's this debate of who should sacrifice their work if both of us are employed. Women, I'm cautioning you. Where he's going, there. Go. Stay there. If we want to stay separate, then there's no point of having a what? Family. There's no point. The fact that he has a mistress on the other side is evidence enough. You cannot stay alone. The fact that he has a mistress on the other side, that tells you he needs a family. He needs someone he can be close to, talk to every day. And who else better than you? So stop flattering yourself here that you're working, you have a big job. You're being chauffeured. The company has given you a car and a house, fueling for you. Your husband is in Marsabit. Go stay in Marsabit. These questions of where will our children go to school, homeschool them. Homeschool them. When who's going to heaven with a degree or a diploma? God is not interested in engineers and doctors. He's interested in godly people. So if there are no schools in Marsabit, go homeschool your child there. And when she left and met with the serpent, she ate. And the husband found out it's all destroyed. Ellen White says in page 56, paragraph 3, Adam mourned that he had permitted Eve to wander from his side. He regretted. Did I say that the buck stops with who?
The man.
Man. You should stand firm and say, where are you going? Hata mimi nilienda shule. Lazima nipate kazi. Naenda kutafuta kazi. If a woman challenges you and there's nothing you can do about it, question your manship. Chances are she's found out you're a boy. You're not a man. There is no woman that can talk back to a man. And I'm not saying you become hostile. I'm not saying you become hostile. In my house, I live with my mother. She's helping us raise our children. Because all of us are people traveling. My husband and I. So there's no better person we could trust with our children than my mother. They are so used to their grandmother that when she says, come, they look at her and disappear. But me, I don't need to say come. I need to open my eyes wide open. And they know it means come. And we don't need to argue about it. We don't argue. We don't argue with my children. They know who has spoken. They know mommy is wrong number. So they have respect for me as their what? I tell you, if a woman can challenge you as a man, you are a boy. You don't command, respect. You should be the one permitting her to go or not go. She should not be telling you, me have told you I'm going. Adam mourned that he permitted her to leave his side. He mourned. Felt if I was with this girl, we wouldn't have gotten into this trouble. Wouldn't. Let me tell you, when you're leading in your family, we're not talking about dictatorship here. We're saying we can sit with family members and discuss. But even when you have all opinions from family members, the final decision rests with you. Because when God comes, Adam, where are you? It will be so sad when people ask you, Makoli, hii ni nini umevaa? Gani sio mimi? Ni bibi yangu. It's my wife. Do you know that is what Adam responded? It's the woman you did what? You see, that's a strong gene from your father. The woman you get. Still crying for the boy child. I have a son, and that's why I have to speak about it. I have a son. And I don't want to raise a son that a woman will throw left, right, center, cannot decide on his own. The devil is so interested with our children as he makes us busy elsewhere. But before I get into that, there's a sad excerpt here. Very sad for us women. Very sad. Very sad. Patriarchs and Prophets, chapter 3. Chapter 3. So, yeah, Patriarchs and Prophets, chapter 3. I'm reading page 59, paragraph 1. Page 59, paragraph 1. Sad statement. If it can change you tonight, the better. If you still insist, I doubt if I'll see you in heaven. Listen to this statement. Eve had been perfectly happy. Not just what? Happy. What kind of happiness? Happy. Eve had been perfectly happy by her husband's side in her Eden home. I'll continue. She had been perfectly happy by her husband's side as a what? As a wife in their Eden what? I'm repeating. Where your husband lives and work, that is where you should stay. It's the perfect place that will yield perfect happiness. This thing you're chasing out here, you're earning 200,000. You are happy, but you're not perfectly what? By her husband's side in their Eden home. And she said, but like restless modern Eves. Hey. Like what? Who are the modern Eves? I like when you talk to me. Who are the modern Eves? You know, I thought White would even have said, like the restless ancient Eve. Then there's no difference between the ancient Eve and the what? The modern Eve. But like the restless modern Eves, she was flattered with the hope of entering a higher sphere than that which God had assigned her. Is that not what we are all chasing? Yeah. We are not satisfied with the space God has created for us. We think there's something bigger and better out there. And I don't blame us. Because now, what will I do if my husband has another woman raising other children that are not his? But again, I've said it is a deception. In attempting to rise above her original position, she fell far below it. And for sure, the results of our attempt to rise higher, we have fallen far below the original position.